Find out how the actors are, who played the charming characters, of the great Bonanza series, after 63 years of its premiere. The so legendary series became part of television history, accompanying several generations, over many years. Ben Cartwright was a man who owned a surreal fortune. He was a widower 3 times, he had a son by each deceased wife, each one of them was of different ancestry. For that reason the 3 personalities of each son did not resemble anything, that gave a lot of variety to the narrated stories. The famous actor, Lorne Greene, in the series, played the beloved Ben Cartwright. Was born on February 12, 1915. Beyond his great talent, by profession as an actor, he was also professional, as a radio announcer. And another one of his nice and great gifts, was being a successful, professional Canadian singer. Unfortunately, he died on September 11, 1987. Within our sight, we can see how he looked in his last appearances, at 72 years old. Adam was the eldest son, played by the famous actor, Pernell Robert, a very serious and not very ductile heartthrob. The character Adam was an architect and had built the beautiful house of the Roberts family. Unfortunately, the famous actor, he was too uncomfortable with the resounding success of the program. He believed that he was up for much more, he felt that his career needed other new challenges. Then after 6 years passed, he left the great series Bonanza. And he devoted himself to the theater, with a very moderate success. Roberts was born on the 18th day of May, in the year 1928. Unfortunately, he died at the age of 81, on January 24, 2010. At this moment we appreciate the last of his portraits, as he looked in his last appearances, at 81 years old. The famous actor Dan Blocker played Eric, better known as Joss. He was the middle brother, the second of the Cartwrights. He was a great character, very likable, completely naive, a giant with a good heart. The famous actor Dan Blocker was in front of his character as Joss, only until the 13th season. Unfortunately, it only had 1 season left, it was even the last one. He could not be in the recordings, for health reasons. The actor underwent a delicate gallbladder operation. Precisely for this reason, he was unable to conclude his important and remarkable character, Joss. Meanwhile, the following season, number 14, was in pre-production. And the much-loved professional actor, Dan Blocker, was in the hospital, when he suddenly suffered from very bad cardiovascular complications. And very unfortunately, he ended up losing his life. Dan Blocker was born on the 10th day of December, in the year 1928. Unfortunately, he died at the age of 43, on May 13, 1972. The last memories of the actor, how he looked in his last appearances, at 43 years old. Joe was the youngest son, played by the famous actor, Michael Landon. He was a gallant, always a buyer with his smile, he had the formulation, along with his exploits, to get himself out of trouble. The professional actor was the youngest of the cast, only 22 years old. With his great talent for acting, he managed to start his beautiful career as a television star at a very young age. His role in the series Bonanza was so successful that he later became a huge success in 2 more shows, The Ingalls Family and Road to Heaven. Michael Landon was born on October 31, 1936. Unfortunately, he died at the age of 54, on July 1, 1991. The last memories of the actor, as he looked in his last appearances, at the age of 54. The famous actor, Guy Williams, played Will Cartwright, Ben's nephew. In fact, this allowed the show to keep its planned format as it was without any problems. The actor made part of the Bonanza after his immense stellar fame with the main character, Zorro. Guy Williams was born on January 14, 1924. Unfortunately, he died at the age of 65, on April 30, 1989. The last memories of the actor, as he looked in his last appearances, at the age of 65. Hop Singh was the Cartwright's cook. The famous actor, Victor Sun Young, was part of the cast of Bonanza, in 107 episodes, in 1959 and 1973. Victor Sun Young was born on October 18, 1915. Unfortunately, he died at the age of 65, on November 9, 1980. The last memories of the actor, as he looked in his last appearances, at the age of 65. The famous actor, Ray Teal, played the sheriff, Roy Coffey. Roy was the sheriff of Virginia City, Nevada. He was very dependable, and was a close friend of the Cartwrights. He always followed all the adventures of the Cartwright family, which often involved the participation or intervention of Sheriff Coffey. Was part of the Bonanza series from 1960 until its end in 1972. Ray Elgin was born on January 12, 1902. Unfortunately, he died at the age of 74, on April 2, 1976. The last memories of the actor, as he looked in his last appearances, at his 74 years old. The famous actor, Bing Russell, played Clem Foster, was the sheriff's deputy, Roy. Russell Bing was born on May 5, 1926. Unfortunately, he died at the age of 76, on April 8, 2003. The last memories of the actor, as he looked in his last appearances, at his 76 years old. The famous actor, David Canary, played Candy Canaday, a soldier-turned-ranch foreman, who befriends the Cartwrights. Candy would do almost anything for Ben and his boys. David Canary was born on August 25, 1938. Unfortunately, he died at the age of 77, on November 16, 2015. The last memories of the actor, as he looked in his last appearances, at his 77 years old. The famous actor, Mitch Vogel, played Jamie. Jamie becomes an orphan. Ben Cartwright invites him to stay at the Ponderosa. He then becomes part of the Cartwright family, as Ben legally adopts him. And so, Jamie takes the Cartwright name. Appeared in the series Bonanza, when she was 12 years old. Then, at the age of 14, she was again part of it, during the last 3 seasons of the series. Was born on January 17, 1956. He is currently 66 years old. We remember how he looked like at that time, and how he is today. The famous actor, Tim Matheson, played Griff King. He was part of the cast of the Bonanza series, in the last season. Tim Matheson, born December 31, 1947. He is currently 74 years old. We remember how he looked like then and how he is today.